I'm Bradley Chapman, and welcome to my another video in the dog shit series. And this is about facing rejection, how to handle it, overcome it, and to get what you want. So thanks very much for listening. You're either listening on my YouTube channel or you've gone to bradleychapman.com. So let's just set the scene about facing rejection, how to handle it and how to overcome it, and to get what you want. So first of all, I guess there's three things in life about rejection, the thought of rejection. Some people have faced rejection already, and it's hit them so badly that they've gone into their shell, they're never going to come out. Some people have faced rejection and they're not quite sure which way to take it. They've got mixed emotions. They're kind of stuck in the middle. And there's these other people, another third of people, that's faced rejection, that's learned how to deal with it, that's accepted that there's a level of rejection that comes with all the decisions we make in life, and they're getting on with it. They're accepting the rejection they face, and then they're moving forward and they're making changes. In other words, we call this the yes, the no, and the maybe brigade. So the idea of this video today is to help you understand rejection, help you understand how to deal with it, why we have to face rejection, and what we need to do to overcome it. So I'm going to set the scene. You know, when I was a young kid, I so desperately, and when I was at school, wanted to go into the stock market. I wanted to become a blue button. Now at school, you know, I wasn't the most educated guy. I didn't have the highest grades. I had C's and D's and B's. I was a fairly intelligent guy, but I wasn't a massive studier at school. I was well liked at school, I guess, but school's not really my thing. I couldn't wait to get out into the big wide world at 16 and to create my own path and to do my own thing. So, you know, I had this illusion that I could be this blue button on the stock market. And you know what I did was I went up to London, and I bunked off school actually. Sorry, teachers. In the afternoon, I went up to the stock market, and there was a thing called the Viewers Gallery back there on the London Stock Exchange, and you could go up to the Viewers Gallery and you could look down onto the stock market floor, and they had these hexagonal kind of you know, chambers all across the floor, and there was these dealers and brokers running all over the place, you know, with these colourful coats on, shouting and buying and selling. And as soon as I saw the level of energy in the stock market, you know, I was hooked. And the only thing I think to myself is, how can I become a blue button? So what I did was I pinched a stock exchange directory off the side. I saw it on the counter and I put it down my trousers, and it had a list of every single stock market broker, dealer, trader listed on the London Stock Exchange. And I come home, and I'm 16 years of age, you know, and I wrote 150 handwritten letters to pretty much every single member of the London Stock Exchange, asking them for a job. You know, and what happened was, I wrote these handwritten letters, and you can imagine it, my handwriting's not the best handwriting in the world. I didn't even tell my parents I was doing it, and then I posted letters, licked them and stamped them and licking every single envelope, which tasted disgusting, but I did it, and I sent out all these letters. All the days preceding that, that came after me posting these letters, I'd run downstairs to the front door when the postman was coming to see if the post had come in and if I got a letter. And if I missed the postman and I had to go to school, then it was rushing back from school to see if I got a letter. And you know, out of 150 handwritten letters, I probably got back about 18 responses, 18, maybe 20 responses. That was it. Every time a response come through the door, the response was, sorry, you've not got enough education. We only take graduate, you know, degree, qualified graduates, so you haven't got the experience. We'll keep your record on file. And every single letter that came through the post, I'd run down with the same excitement, even though I'd faced rejection already in the first couple of letters, that someone was going to say yes. Well, do you know what? Out of the 18 letters I got back from the 150, which was about 15% response rate, every single person said no to me. You can't do it. You can't become a blue button. You haven't got the skills. You haven't got the qualification. That was a lot of rejection because I knew I didn't have the qualification, but I believed inside so badly that I would become a blue button that I didn't want to stop there. So I thought to myself, what's the next level? And the rejection at this time, because I was quite young, it was kind of flowing off of me. I felt rejected, but I thought, sod it, I've got to keep going. When we get older in life, the more rejection we face, it chips away at us and we get a little bit less resilient. Or do we? Because they're lessons in life. So I went up to town and I joined a few recruitment agencies and put my CV on the table, school leaver, and eventually I started getting a couple of interviews. And my first interview was was with a broker. I went in there for an interview and I saw the floor and it was so exciting and I froze in the interview. I absolutely crapped myself and I didn't say nothing. Of course, I didn't get the job. The next interview I got, I thought, sod that, I'm not doing that again. I'm going to be the life and soul of the party. The job was for the mailroom. and I didn't care where I started, whether it was the mailroom on the floor. I'd work my way up, and I got a letter back saying, you want too much. The mailroom is somewhere where, you know, you're going to stay for life, and the stock market floor, this job isn't for you. So I got declined from the mailroom, and eventually I went into 2 interviews in one day. One was for Nat West and one was for James Capel. I had 2 interviews back to back, and I must have blown these people away. And eventually I come out of these interviews, I caught the train back home, and as I come back up the hill to my house, my parents and my sisters were sitting there with a bottle of champagne, and they said, you've got both jobs. I then started with one of the firms and become a blue button and started working on the floor. That's another story now. But rejection that we face is so tough, and I guess when we face rejection, we feel like we want to give up. We feel like we want to stop because it hurts so badly. Someone's rejected us, and you can associate this with life, with love, with business, with family, with relationships, with anything at life. When you get rejected or you get turned down, you could have come up with an idea at work and presented to your boss, and he said no. You could have gone for that promotion and said you're not good enough. You could have tried to go for a date with someone that you really fancy and you think you're falling in love with, and they don't want you and they turn you down, they reject you. It's the most horrible feeling. But rejection is actually there to help us build up a level of resilience so we can accept rejection, so we can understand it, so that actually we keep going. Now, 3/3 of people, when we face a certain level of rejection, a third are just going to give up. They're never going to come back to the table again. They're going to say, sod that, it's too difficult. They could eventually or potentially become one of these drainers in life that doesn't believe it's possible, and they impart their shit, their dog shit on everybody else. It's not possible, you can't do it, it's too risky. A middle bracket perhaps have tried and they've failed, they've had the rejection, they've not quite got there, but they probably believe a little bit, but they need a little bit of help from a radiator to move them out. And a third of people, rejection slices off them like butter because they know it's inevitable, they've got to move forward. So I'm going to ask you a question about rejection. Have you ever faced rejection in your life? Yes or no? I think everybody's answer to that is yes. Have you ever faced a rejection in your life where you felt you couldn't take any more, and the dream that you was following, or the idea that you had, or the relationship you was chasing after, or the change you wanted to make in your life or your business or your family was never going to happen? Did you actually give up on that? Was the rejection too hard? Well, I think most of us would agree and say yes to that as well, because we've all faced rejection at times where we've said, sod it, it's too much, there's too much dog shit there, it's too much crap to throw out, I can't handle it, my space not big enough to scoop all the dog shit out. But let me ask you another question. If you could have kept going and one more try at trying to achieve that dream, that relationship, that new business, that new career, that new job, and the answer would have been yes, you're in, would you have taken that step? Well, the answer to that, of course, is yes as well. You would have done. So let me ask you this. How many people give up on their dream, their life, their relationship, their business, or that new job that they really want because they've been rejected? And how many people, if they could have just kept going one more time and handled that rejection, may have got what they wanted? Well, let's break it down into the 3/3 again. A third still would have never have got what they wanted. A third may have possibly got it or may not have got it, and a third will have got it. Which third are you? Which third do you want to be? Do you want to be the third that gives up and takes rejection and just goes back into their ball? Or do you want to be the third that says, yes, I understand rejection is there, it's a fact of life, it will make me stronger when I get back up the next time. Look, and I understand this, I'm the master at rejection. I'm the master. I've had so much rejection in my life, it's unreal. Maybe that's because I pushed into some of the areas that most other people said it couldn't be done, or it shouldn't be done, or it's not the right thing to do. And there's been so many times when I've got myself in hot water from trying things, and some of this has been through bad decisions and me putting myself in the wrong places at the wrong times. But the rest of the time it was because it was a good decision, it was the right thing to do, and I know what I wanted the outcome to be. The outcome doesn't always come out the way you want it to, but if you keep going, perhaps it will. Well, I'm talking to you guys now about facing rejection and how to overcome it. I've faced my own rejection and I'm overcoming it, and I'm doing it right now. I'm back on camera again after 4 years of coming out of being on the camera, and I've started a website solely dedicated to sales, marketing and life. And you could say, well, actually, a third of people listening to me right now is going to say this guy's crazy. He's talking a lot of horseshit. He's no good, he's crap. You know, he's a no good guy. A third might be saying, listen, well done, you know, for trying again and giving it another go. And a third saying, bloody well, good on you. You are giving it a go. Keep keep going. You will make it happen. That's what I believe. I believe you've got to keep going. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your rejections. Accept them if you can. It's never going to go away, the pain you feel when you're rejected. It's going to be a part of your memory. But I believe that part of your memory is going to give you the strength and the encouragement and the wisdom and the belief to try again, but doing it slightly differently. So let me just finish up by saying, if you've faced rejection before and you've gone into your hole and you're afraid to come out, consider giving it another go. Because if you give it another go, there's 3 chances that you might get what you want. Are you prepared to take that chance? Well, it's worth a go, isn't it? To really get what it is we want. If you're struggling to get back from adversity, give me a call, because that's what I do. I help people get back up that's fallen over. I help people that's faced adversity or is having challenges in life to find a way to resolve those and to move forward. I've faced my own and I can help you with yours. This is a very exciting time for me at bradleychapman.com. Thank you very much for listening to Facing Rejection, how to handle it and how to overcome it and get what you want. More information on my YouTube channel and at bradleychapman.com. Thank you very much indeed. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.